Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing an Outlaw Trails story. I'm titling this one The Powderhorn of Doom. Before I get into this though, if you enjoy my content, it would really help me out if you could hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share my content on all of your social media platforms, and post a comment or two. Remember, I welcome your comments even if you disagree with me. And check me out over on Rumble for my political commentary and weekly current events. If you enjoy a good book, check out my author page on Amazon.com. My pen name is H.L. Anderson. You can find all of my books there, including Outlaw Trails, the tabletop role playing game. All right. The Powderhorn of Doom. Something happened in our weekly game which reminded me of an incident that happened years ago. In the game, one of the players tried to turn his powder horn into a bomb, and it worked fairly well. But it reminded me of this story. I was running an Outlaw Trails game with my friends Earl and Kevin. They'd seen an old movie about mountain men, so they wanted to play characters like that. And that's cool. You can do that in a game. They were armed with muskets and melee weapons. That was the best weapons they had at the time. Through the course of the game, they had discovered a silver vein and wanted to mine it. Unfortunately, the mine was actually on land claimed by the Mexican government. A lot of land disputes back at that time. The local Mexican authority was not happy about the intrepid young entrepreneurs digging their silver out of their mountains. They sent a particularly nasty officer to run them off, arrest them, or kill them. His name was Lieutenant Jose Garcia. He had a squad of men who delighted in violence and torture, headed by Sergeant Maximilian Ramos. Initially, Earl and Kevin greeted Garcia because he came alone. They welcomed him in and had coffee and food, and they talked, and Garcia made it quite clear that they were to leave or they would be arrested or killed. He told them the date of their the date that he and his men would return, because he gave them some time to get packed up and get out. He even wrote it down in a note. The problem was he wrote it down in a note. Earl and Kevin resolved to get as much silver out of their mine as they could. They planned to keep working right up until the deadline Garcia had given them. Unfortunately, they misunderstood the deadline. They thought they had until June 5th. The note said 5/6, meaning May the 6th. For some reason, they forgot the verbal part and went by the note, but they misread the note. I had no idea why they did that. And I don't know. Anyway, they thought they had until June 5th, but the guy was coming back on May the 6th. On May 6th, Earl was working in the mine and Kevin was watering the horses at the creek. Garcia and his men were riding up the trail, expecting them to be gone. Kevin saw them and ran back to the mine as quickly as possible. He got there about 15 minutes ahead of the lieutenant. They grabbed their muskets and their packs and headed out. Their intent was to ambush Garcia's men and try to take out the leadership so that the rest would retreat. That would give them... the idea was that was going to buy them enough time to pack out as much of the silver ore as their horses could carry, which is, in essence, not a bad plan. The problem was they hit Garcia. Unfortunately, they both hit Garcia. He was dead before he fell from the saddle, and Sergeant Ramos ordered the men to return fire. One of the shots happened to hit Earl's powder horn. It exploded and killed both of them. Both of the player characters died in that explosion. That's the downside of black powder weapons. You have to carry powder to load them, and a powder horn is essentially a bomb hanging on your belt. That was yeah. The game we played the other day reminded me of that, and I figured I'd share it with you. It was a short-lived game. It only had like 3 sessions. After that, they decided to go back to playing cowboys, in the American frontier, the Old West. Powder horns are nice, and at the time it was the best weapons they had, but they were not happy with them after that. Yeah. Anywho, hope you enjoy these stories as much as I enjoy relating them, and I hope you have yourself a good day. Hope everybody is healthy, wealthy, and blessed. God bless one and all.